Hi everyone, how are you doing? I do hope you're doing well. Following on from my last video, which had some very, very gruesome and nasty crimes committed by a Jehovah's Witness, or we don't know if he's ex, but anyway, we have another one here from Canada. Castanet.net is the stopping place for that if you want to have a look. Here we have a paedophile facing 2 years jail. And then we have about this Soyuz man faces up to 2 years in prison after admitting to molesting an 11-year-old boy in 2016. So Sean Berry Titus, 36, was in Penticton Court Monday after pleading guilty to 1 count of sexual assault and 2 counts of breaching bail conditions. That's good that he has pled guilty. The Crown Prosecutor said police began investigating Titus at the request of the boy's elementary school principal in October 2016. Just as a side note, when we were talking about reporting such crimes, we talk about those sorts of things a lot. People's obligations, a legal obligation, moral obligation, how important it is for adults around children, especially adults in good positions of responsibility, to report suspected abuse. And of course that will include people in a religious community and teachers. So we have a good example of that and how it really can help. So Titus, remember he's in his 30s, had been hanging around school with the boy, and the teacher heard that sleepovers had taken place. So he would have been very noticeable being so old and hanging around. Maybe some people will be saying, well, where's the parents? We don't know. Remember, there's many variations as to how protected or not protected children are. So the investigators found that Titus met the victim at a local rec centre through another youth, and they all began playing basketball together. The victim's mother reported that her son was missing curfew frequently and was asking for Titus to attend parent-teacher conferences. Interviews with the victim eventually disclosed that Titus, I won't go into the details. In February 2017, Titus admitted in tears to his boss at a fast food restaurant that he had molested the boy. Vandersley said Titus told the manager he disclosed to his mother that he'd been struggling with having these attractions to young boys. When Titus, and then there's more details. So the culprit is saying what he's done and pleading guilty. So it appears Mr. Titus is not acknowledging his behaviour. Either he can't or he won't, it's saying. He's beyond minimising and engaging in significant victim blaming. Titus repeatedly claimed the victim initiated the sexual contact. A psychiatric assessment diagnosed Titus with a paedophilic disorder and noted he has a long way to go to addressing his sexual proclivities. As a euphemism, if ever there was one. He, however, said that the accused had attempted to seek out psychiatric help before the crime occurred, but failed. Titus also breached his bail twice. He had caught making inappropriate comments to a group of girls at a public pool, from which he was banned under his bail conditions, drinking in a park that he was also banned from with a group of adults. So here we go. The defence lawyer James Pennington explained his client was sexually and violently abused as a child. He was raised as a strict Jehovah's Witness but was excommunicated from the church for a premarital sexual relationship with a woman. Now, I must always point out, in the past I've not pointed this out, and people have raised it quite appropriately, that being abused, whether it's a physical abuse, sexual, emotional, mental, spiritual abuse in children, it does not necessarily lead to abusive behaviors from then on. A minority, and it really is a minority of people, will then from that experience go on and abuse, but that is not the majority reaction. So must be very careful about them looking upon any victims with suspicion as to how they're acting as adults. You know, I do sort of recall though things such as when they're training torturers, apparently they torture the torturer to become a torturer. So pain does beget pain. And within the close JW community, are we to understand that it doesn't say that he was abused on those different levels by another JW? So he was excommunicated from the church for premarital sex. I wonder if his abuser was excommunicated. We do know the patterns, so important. And it is useful to know, without blaming victims for any behaviours they would never consider, and behaviours they would find abhorrent, that the cycles of pain and the generations of pain that carry on thanks to Watchtower abuses. It's pretty shocking. So they're putting here, having been brought up in a home and belief system where the church is ultimate, where you can always rely on the church for support-ish, and you take a fragile individual like Mr. Titus, and then the support system that you really look forward to is suddenly not there. As a matter of fact, it's kicking you down the street. He referred to his client as a troubled individual who needs psychiatric help managing his paedophilia. He's wrestling with these demons that he's got. He wants help, and he said that much to the police. Titus said via video conference. That's what the reporter putting in their view on it. If he was trying to hide this, he would not have gone into the detail that he did with the confession, Pennington added. They've also admitted that the Crown would have faced a significant hurdle achieving a So there you have the proposed punishments. Crown wanting prison, 2 years prison, 3 years probation, 10-year order banning from parks and places frequented by children. Bail breaches should be served with credit for time already served, 75 days, and the defence is 12-month proposal, 2 years probation. Ooh, I would have thought, well, am I wrong? I mean, probation is good for everyone, for protection. And the judge is reserving her judgment for a later date. Well, I hope this young person is getting help for what's happened to them, and things get sorted. But it's just a sorry mess after sorry mess, isn't it? Thanks for watching. Bye.